What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Mike Besley RC, where today we're going to do steps 1 through 16 of the TT-02 chassis build. Hoping to get this car up over 70 miles an hour one day, and it all starts with this video. Thanks for stopping by. Today what we're going to do is part 1 of what will probably be a 3 or 4 part build of a Tamiya TT-02. I had unboxed that in a video last week. My goal is to try and get this car up to 80-90 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get there out of the box, but slowly but surely we'll see what we have to do to tweak it and improve. So we're gonna get right into it. One of the things I will say off the bat is that I went ahead and I broke apart the pieces for part A, or the A part bag, and just kind of organized those, and just to kind of get ready and make things go a little bit quicker. You know, this will be the 3rd or 4th kit I've put together. And the first 2 I did were Schumacher. I did a Schumacher Cat XLS Masami, and I did a Schumacher Top Cat. And one of the things I really liked about those kits is everything came in a bag for each step, whereas you kind of have everything just lumped together for the Tamiya kit. So let's just get right into it. So the first step listed in the guide is going to be step 3, where you're assembling the spur gear, and we'll get into it. Apply a little bit of grease here. One of the things that I do want to call out when you're going through the part bags is there are some bearings or bushings that look pretty similar. I'm going to show them to you right here. One is for the drivetrain, and the other one are for the wheels. If you see, they look pretty similar. The ones for the drivetrain right here are a little bit larger than these for the wheels. Definitely want to make sure you pay attention to that. I think one is BB2, which is the part that you use for the drivetrain. The other is BB3, which you use for the wheels. And then you have a pin that goes into there. A little more grease. And then the last piece for step 3 is going to be GB2. Put a little more grease on there. Spread that in. And that'll be step 3. On to step 4. Step 4 will be the propeller shaft assembly. And then this completes step 4. Step 5, we're just going to drop the drivetrain into the kit. and we will lock this in place. So I mentioned I put together a couple Schumachers 30 years ago when I was a 13-year-old kid. I had a Schumacher kit, a Top Cat kit, and my dad and I tried to assemble it, and we weren't very good at it, so we actually had to send the kit off to the local hobby shop to pay someone to assemble it. With COVID, I got back into RCs and I picked up a couple kits, and I went right into the Schumachers, which are supposed to be very difficult. And I watched a couple YouTube videos, and I knocked them out pretty easily. So for this step, you want to take the star shaft and you want to put the 4 small bevel gears on like so. Set that there. Set the large bevel gear in the hub. And you'll put the second large bevel gear in up on top. Then we will put the top on. Wipe off my hands because I won't be able to get a good grip on the screwdriver because of all the grease. So now these kits are a little bit cheaper than some of the other ones that folks might be getting into out there. This is a nice entry-level kit. The thing that really called me to it was, I'm not gonna lie, the price. I think I picked this kit up on Asia Tees for delivered to me about 130 bucks. I'm sitting here in the Midwest in Chicago. I think this weekend it's supposed to be a high of like 7 tomorrow. So just need something to do to kind of pass the time and stay out of trouble. Got 2 more screws. And this will be the first one. So now I'll just go ahead off camera and I'll repeat the same process for the second one. Alright everybody, for step 6 we're going to assemble the front diff gearbox. We're going to need a little bit of grease on one of the pieces you just assembled. Then we're going to need the 2 metal bearings. They came in the A screw bag. And then you're just going to drop this right in here. And you'll put the cover on and tighten the 4 screws. On to step 8, the assembly of the front upper arms. Alright, right here we're going to complete the rear differential box. You're going to again need these 2 of these copper bushings or bearings. Put those on each side. We're going to put a little more grease on this. I remember being a 12-year-old kid, I had a buddy in grade school, Ray, who brought over his Tamiya Falcon, and after that I was just hooked. It was the first time I had ever seen a hobby grade RC. I begged my parents after Ray had gone home for an RC car. That's how I ended up with the Schumacher Cat, or Top Cat, which was the pretty popular kit back in the day. Was a little bit over my skis on that one. Would definitely not recommend that to a 12-year-old just breaking into the hobby. So far I'm pretty impressed with how easily everything goes together. Probably the most difficult and annoying part so far was just kind of separating all the parts and getting them ready. That'll complete step 9. Step 10 here calls for attaching the upper arms for the rear. Since I'm going to do the Porsche body on this, I'm going to do the short wheelbase here, found on page 18. I really like the way that kit or that body looks. I've seen a couple painted on YouTube and on the net, and I just think it looks so much cooler than the Audi. A little more aerodynamic. What do you think? Which body do you like more, the Audi or the Porsche? Now to get the short wheelbase, we have to flip the arms around. Oh, there we go. And we'll just hit these 2 screws, and we'll be ready to move on. Pretty straightforward directions here. I would definitely recommend reading them through before you begin. Just kind of familiarize yourself with what all the different parts are, so you're not scrambling trying to figure out what part is what. I mean, especially those white bushings. Those were a little bit confusing at the beginning. But there we go. On to step 11. Step 11 here calls for attaching the motor mount to the motor. To start off with, we're going to use the motor that came along with the kit. I know my goal is to get this thing going as fast as possible. We're going to have to update the motor. I know what you guys are running. Anybody got a fast car out there? North of 50, 60 miles an hour? I'm assuming you got brushless. 2 cell, 3 cell, 4 cell, what do you got? we're going to find the flat piece, the motor, attach the spur gear to it, tighten the grub that came with it. Now we'll drop this into the kit. I do apologize for the furnace kicking on and off, but I think it's currently 11 degrees out. I'm trying to keep the house as warm as you can. First world problems. So we got the motor mounted. Now we'll just put the cover on. Alright, I can't lie, that last little section was a little bit of a struggle. My drivetrain bar or shaft was not sitting flush, so I had to go back and pull it apart to get everything to sit flush. And now my drivetrain spins a lot easier. Right now we're connecting the rear lower arms, and we've gone and we've flipped them because again we're going to be using the short wheelbase. Yeah, this spins a lot easier now than it was before. So 100% disclosure. Getting close to the end here of this first part of the build. We got the rear bumper. I don't want to do this all in one video. Be pretty long, and quite honestly, I know I don't have the time nor the desire to sit through somebody's hour-long build video, but if somebody's able to break it up into pieces, I'm much more likely to invest the time. If you're still here, I'd like to thank you for investing your time up to now. If you've picked up anything on this video, feel free to hit that like button or subscribe. Got another couple parts to this build, as well as I'll be showing some footage as to how the quest to hitting 70-80 miles an hour with this thing goes. On to attaching the front lower arms. I've greased them up off camera. The natives are getting a little restless upstairs. My 11-year-old decides that 10 o'clock she wants to practice the recorder for school and run through the house like a herd of flipping elephants. So I'm going to go with that as a good spot to end, and we're just about done with the A bag of parts. Actually, after this step we will be done. 3 more screws. more. There you have it. Steps 1 through 16. Let me know what you think.